youth auxiliary.
Monsters, murder, mayhem.
Christopher Lloyd has completely disappeared. Have you heard? Once an iconic actor with unforgettable roles such as Doc Brown in Back to the Future and Uncle Fester in The Addams Family, Christopher Lloyd recently made fans extremely worried when he no longer appeared in any other film projects. What happened that made him completely withdraw from Hollywood? You will find out the reason right after. The first reason why Christopher Lloyd disappeared from Hollywood is that he worked too much. Unlike other actors who become more selective with their roles after achieving stardom, Lloyd remains remarkably prolific, taking on roles in projects big and small with a refreshing lack of pretense. This commitment to his craft, regardless of the scale or visibility of the project, underscores a genuine passion for acting itself rather than the trappings of fame or fortune. In Hollywood, it's common for struggling actors to accept any role that comes their way, hoping to gain exposure and build their careers. Once they achieve a certain level of success, however, many begin to cherry-pick roles, often prioritizing prestige, financial reward, or creative fulfillment. This shift in approach can sometimes lead to actors disappearing from the limelight if they don't find roles that meet their heightened standards. However, Christopher Lloyd has taken the opposite approach. His extensive filmography reveals an actor who is still consistently working, not because he's chasing fame or acclaim, but simply because he loves what he does. Lloyd's willingness to take on a wide variety of roles was made clear in an interview with Metro New York, where he candidly discussed his approach to acting. "I've done a lot of films I haven't heard about since Rap Night," he admitted, "but I don't care. I have to work." This statement reflects a deep-seated love for the process of acting itself. For Lloyd, it seems that the opportunity to embody different characters and tell stories is its own reward, even if the projects don't achieve widespread recognition. His pragmatism is equally evident in his stance on the financial side of acting. "Unless it's total garbage, I'll work, whatever comes along. The money might not be fabulous, but I don't mind that," he said. This unpretentious attitude is a testament to his grounded perspective on the industry. Rather than being deterred by modest paychecks or low-budget productions, Lloyd sees them as opportunities to keep honing his craft and staying connected to the work he loves. This approach to acting highlights a key distinction between being an actor in the sense of maintaining a high-profile celebrity image and doing acting for the sheer joy and fulfillment it brings. While some actors might feel that accepting small or obscure roles diminishes their stature, Lloyd clearly doesn't see it that way. For him, the essence of acting lies in the act itself, delving into characters, collaborating with others, and bringing stories to life. There is a secret about Christopher Lloyd that not everyone knows. Long before he became a household name in Hollywood, Lloyd honed his craft in the theater, studying the art of acting with an intensity and dedication that laid the foundation for his enduring career. He trained at the prestigious Neighborhood Playhouse School of Theater in New York City, where he studied under the legendary Sanford Meisner, a towering figure in the world of acting whose eponymous technique emphasizes living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. This rigorous training instilled in Lloyd a deep appreciation for the transformative power of live performance. Over the years, as Lloyd's mainstream film and television appearances have become less frequent, he has made a notable return to the stage, reaffirming his roots in live theater. His performances in recent years demonstrate that his passion for the stage has never wavered, and his ability to captivate an audience remains as powerful as ever. In 2018, Lloyd took on the role of poet Ezra Pound in the critically acclaimed off-Broadway play, Pound. This production provided an opportunity for him to delve into the complex and controversial life of one of the 20th century's most enigmatic literary figures. Critics praised Lloyd's portrayal, noting his ability to bring depth and nuance to a role that demanded both intellectual rigor and emotional vulnerability. It was a testament to his skill as a performer and his ongoing commitment to challenging, meaningful work in the theater. A few years earlier, in 2013, Lloyd starred in a production of Bertolt Brecht's The Caucasian Chalk Circle. Brecht's modernist fable, known for its unconventional narrative and biting social commentary, is a demanding piece for any actor, requiring a balance of humor, gravitas, and an understanding of the playwright's epic theater techniques. Lloyd's performance stood out, showcasing his ability to navigate Brecht's intricate storytelling with clarity and energy, captivating audiences in a way only a seasoned performer can. Even further back, in 2008, Lloyd played the iconic role of Ebenezer Scrooge in a stage production of A Christmas Carol, sharing the spotlight with John Goodman and Jane Leeves. While the production itself faced challenges and received mixed reviews, Lloyd's portrayal of Scrooge was universally praised. His interpretation of the miserly character, combined with his natural charisma, brought a unique vitality to the role, earning him enthusiastic ovations from audiences. This role, like many in Lloyd's theatrical career, highlighted his ability to breathe new life into classic characters while making them distinctly his own. The second reason why Christopher Lloyd had to temporarily put his career on hold was the influence of his personal life. Although he has never had children, Lloyd's romantic history reveals a complex and often challenging journey through relationships, each chapter offering a glimpse into the private life of a man better known for his characters than his personal drama. Lloyd's first marriage was to Catherine Boyd, whom he wed in 1959. This union lasted over a decade, but ultimately ended in divorce in 1971. By all accounts, this was the most contentious of Lloyd's separations, with lingering tensions long after the marriage dissolved. In 2002, more than 3 decades after their divorce, Boyd sued Lloyd for alleged unpaid alimony payments. The legal dispute brought their old grievances back into public view, painting a picture of a relationship that, while long over, had left unresolved issues. In 1974, Lloyd married actress Kay Tornborg, marking the start of a new chapter in his personal life. The couple enjoyed a relatively long marriage by Hollywood standards, remaining together for 13 years before parting ways in 1987. During this period, Lloyd's career was on an upward trajectory, with roles in groundbreaking films like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Back to the Future. While less publicly dramatic than his first divorce, his split from Tornborg signaled another shift in Lloyd's life as he continued to balance his growing fame with personal challenges. Lloyd's third marriage was to Carol Ann Vanek in 1988, but this union was notably brief, lasting only until 1991. Little is publicly known about their relationship, but the short duration suggests it may have been a period of transition for Lloyd. Shortly afterward, in 1992, he entered into his fourth marriage with screenwriter Jane Walker Wood. This relationship lasted 13 years, ending in 2005. Their marriage coincided with a period during which Lloyd's career began to shift, with fewer high-profile roles, but a steady stream of work that reflected his enduring dedication to acting. Following his divorce from Wood, Lloyd chose to remain single for over a decade, focusing on his work and personal interests. However, love found its way back into his life when he married Lisa Loyacono, a real estate broker, in 2016. Their relationship represents a new chapter for Lloyd, one marked by stability and a quieter approach to personal life. Having navigated the ups and downs of multiple marriages, his union with Loyacono feels like a hopeful fresh start for the seasoned actor. There is another reason that none of us can think of. Like many of us in the digital age, Christopher Lloyd has discovered the fascinating and often time-consuming world of social media. It seems that even Hollywood legends are not immune to the allure of memes, online discourse, and the occasional digital rabbit hole. Over the years, Lloyd has embraced Twitter as his platform of choice, connecting with fans and engaging with the cultural zeitgeist in a way that is as endearing as it is entertaining. Operating under the verified handle at Doc Brown Lloyd, Lloyd's Twitter feed is a delightful mix of nostalgia, humor, and candid commentary. Fans of Back to the Future will find a treasure trove of content, as Lloyd frequently retweets memes, fan art, and references to his iconic role as Doc Brown. It's clear that he takes genuine joy in the enduring popularity of the franchise, using his platform to celebrate its legacy while engaging directly with fans. Whether it's sharing a clever pun about time travel or responding to a fan's heartfelt message about how the film impacted their life, Lloyd's social media presence feels warm and approachable, a testament to his enduring connection with his audience. But Lloyd's Twitter feed isn't all lighthearted fun. Like many public figures, he uses the platform to express his views on the current political climate. From retweeting witty observations to offering his own take on pressing issues, Lloyd has shown that he isn't afraid to weigh in on the topics of the day. In one particularly notable instance, he retweeted a joke by actor Chris Evans, comparing certain prominent political figures to villains from Back to the Future. This playful yet pointed commentary demonstrated Lloyd's willingness to engage with the intersection of pop culture and politics, offering his followers a glimpse of his sharp wit and perspective. While his political tweets might spark debate among followers, they also reflect a larger trend of celebrities using social media as a tool for advocacy and self-expression. Lloyd's feed strikes a balance between the personal and the public, showcasing not only his humor and passion for his craft, but also his thoughtful engagement with the world around him. Of course, there's a humorous irony in imagining Christopher Lloyd, an actor synonymous with groundbreaking science fiction films, spending hours scrolling through memes on the smallest screen of all. For fans who cherish his on-screen presence, there might be a slight worry that his time online could detract from his work in film and theater. After all, his unique energy and charisma are assets we'd all prefer to see more often in movies and TV shows rather than solely on a digital feed. It is a fact that Christopher Lloyd is known for his uncanny ability to inhabit a particular kind of eccentricity. This made it difficult for him to find roles, and it was the next reason for his inactivity. Yet that very quality, which makes him so unforgettable in certain roles, has also made him challenging to cast. His distinctive energy is a perfect fit for highly specific characters, but it doesn't lend itself to the broad versatility that Hollywood often demands. This has meant that while Lloyd has delivered iconic performances, his casting opportunities have sometimes been dictated more by circumstance than by conventional star power. Some of the major roles that defined Lloyd's early career may have been as much about timing and serendipity as they were about his talent. When the perfect storm of a script, role, and production came together, Lloyd was an actor who could bring a unique magic to the screen. These opportunities led to unforgettable performances, like the madcap brilliance of Doc Brown in Back to the Future, or the calculated chaos of Professor Plum in Clue. Both roles were released in 1985 during Lloyd's mid-40s, and they showcase his remarkable ability to shift between characters of wildly different ages and dispositions. At the time, Lloyd's flexibility with age ranges allowed him to navigate the industry in a way that set him apart. In Back to the Future, his portrayal of Doc Brown, a wild-haired elderly scientist with boundless energy, was so convincing that many viewers assumed Lloyd was far older than his actual 46 years. Meanwhile, in Clue, he played Professor Plum, a character much closer to his real age, with a sly charm that was equally believable. This chameleon-like ability enabled Lloyd to tackle roles that spanned generations, filling a niche for quirky, offbeat characters. As Lloyd has aged into his actual old man years, however, the dynamics of his career have shifted. No longer able to bounce between younger and older roles, he has hinted at the limitations that come with growing older in an industry that often prioritizes youth and mainstream appeal. In an interview with Metro New York, Lloyd shared a humorous anecdote that underscores this reality. During a Q&A session for Back to the Future, a young fan asked him, "Mr. Lloyd, now that you're older, do you miss putting on old age makeup?" Lloyd chuckled at the observation, but the moment highlighted how his relationship with aging, both as a person and as an actor, has evolved. Saying this may make Christopher Lloyd's fans feel sad, but another reason why he disappeared is that his previous roles no longer have the opportunity to be recreated. Lloyd has made it clear on multiple occasions that he would eagerly step back into Doc Brown's eccentric shoes if given the chance. In an interview with the Phoenix New-Times, he said, "I'd be delighted. I'd love to be in a fourth film." His enthusiasm for the character has remained steadfast over the years, as evidenced by his participation in cameo appearances and other media tied to the Back to the Future universe. From skits and commercials to his involvement in theme park attractions, Lloyd has demonstrated time and again that he cherishes the character as much as fans do. However, the hurdles to making another Back to the Future film are significant. Perhaps the biggest obstacle is the stance of the franchise's creators. Both director Robert Zemeckis and producer Bob Gale have been adamantly against the idea of a sequel or reboot. In a candid comment, Zemeckis dismissed the idea, saying, "Oh, God, no. That can't happen until both Bob Gale and I are dead." He likened the notion of a Back to the Future revival to the folly of remaking Citizen Kane. For Zemeckis and Gale, the original trilogy is a complete story, and revisiting it would be an affront to its legacy. Another factor complicating any potential sequel is Michael J. Fox's health. Fox, who starred as Marty McFly, has been publicly battling Parkinson's disease since 1998. While he has continued to work admirably in various acting roles, a physically demanding leading role in a Back to the Future sequel would likely be more than he could comfortably manage. Without the chemistry between Lloyd's Doc Brown and Fox's Marty, a new film would lack the heart that defined the original trilogy. Though the dream of a Back to the Future sequel has been firmly shelved, the spirit of the franchise lives on in other ways. One prominent example is the wildly popular animated series, Rick and Morty. The show, with its twisted humor and sci-fi hijinks, draws direct inspiration from the dynamic between Doc Brown and Marty McFly. The titular characters, Rick Sanchez and Morty Smith, are clear parodies, with Rick's wild scientific experiments and chaotic energy evoking Doc Brown's eccentric brilliance. Additionally, Lloyd has expressed an interest in becoming part of the Rick and Morty universe. In the same interview with the Phoenix New-Times, he mentioned that he'd love to make a guest appearance on the show, perhaps as Rick's father. For fans of both Back to the Future and Rick and Morty, the idea of Lloyd voicing a character on the series is a tantalizing prospect that would further cement the link between the two franchises. However, this wish will not come true. So, what lies ahead for Christopher Lloyd? If his past is any indication, his future will likely be characterized by the same unassuming yet relentless passion for acting that has defined his career thus far. Lloyd seems content to continue doing what he loves, working steadily on smaller, often unconventional films, regardless of their budget, audience, or quirks. His commitment to acting as a craft, rather than a means to celebrity, ensures that he'll keep lending his talents to projects that intrigue him, no matter their scale. Over the course of his long career, Lloyd has almost exclusively focused on acting, seamlessly moving from one project to the next. He's made a name for himself by being reliable, versatile, and always game for something offbeat. But while he has spent decades in front of the camera, there's an intriguing possibility that his future might involve stepping behind it. Lloyd has occasionally expressed interest in writing, directing, or producing, a potential new direction that would be as unexpected as many of the characters he has played. For an actor who first broke into the mainstream at the relatively late age of 37, a pivot to creating his own projects doesn't seem far-fetched. Lloyd's major breakthrough came with his role as the eccentric Reverend Jim Ignatowski on the sitcom Taxi, a performance that cemented his place in Hollywood as a master of portraying oddball characters. His journey to fame took patience and persistence, qualities that suggest he's never been afraid to tackle new challenges, even later in life. Hints of this potential shift emerged as recently as 2018, when Lloyd teased the possibility of producing an independent film of his own. In a tweet, he implied that he was working on a side project in this vein. While it's unclear whether this was a serious announcement or a product of the often whimsical nature of social media, the comment sparked curiosity about whether Lloyd might be gearing up for a new phase in his creative career. If true, such a move would add an exciting layer to his legacy. Stepping into roles like writer, director, or producer would be a natural evolution for someone who has spent decades immersed in storytelling. Lloyd's extensive experience on film sets, combined with his lifelong passion for the craft, positions him well to explore these avenues. His interest in unconventional and smaller-scale projects could lend itself to unique and deeply personal stories that might not conform to Hollywood norms, a fitting approach for someone whose career has always thrived on the unconventional. While nothing has materialized yet, the possibility of Christopher Lloyd producing, writing, or directing holds a certain allure. Fans who have grown up watching him bring quirky characters to life would undoubtedly be excited to see what kind of vision he could craft behind the camera. Would he create something comedic, leaning into the eccentric humor that has defined many of his performances? Or would he surprise us all with something more dramatic or avant-garde, showcasing another side of his artistic sensibilities? Of course, whether or not Lloyd ever transitions into these new roles, one thing is certain: he'll continue doing what he loves. His willingness to work on smaller, stranger projects demonstrates a refreshing lack of ego and an unshakable dedication to acting for its own sake. Lloyd isn't chasing blockbusters or critical acclaim. He's chasing the joy of performance, the thrill of stepping into new characters, and the simple satisfaction of being part of a creative process. In many ways, this unpretentious approach has defined his career and endeared him to audiences. It also means that, no matter what the future holds, Christopher Lloyd will continue to surprise us, whether through his acting or perhaps by exploring new creative paths. For a man who has always been a late bloomer, the next chapter might just be his most unexpected yet, and we can't wait to see what it brings. What do you think about Christopher Lloyd's disappearance? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.